Hey there, Russell traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the Russell and Index recap for June 27, 2014. Please, as always, seek financial advice when trading with your money. These videos are for educational purposes only, to support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan, as I post every night at TradingFibs.com. And always have a stop in place and never move it. Here we looking at our four major indices. Let's jump right into the Russell for today. As we can see, price action opening up here at 1170.9 underneath the previous close, the daily gap here, setting our average move up here at 1188.8 and our average move down, never hitting those. Today, pretty much staying within the 25-minute open range for the majority of the session until we had a late afternoon pop, all the way up from the daily gap here we see at 10:25 West Coast time, 1:25 East Coast, coming all the way up, coming back down to the previous high, and then popping up to the weekly opening price, tapping 1185.4 and coming right back down to the daily R1. This rise in price to close out the gap for those gap chasers did nice, and the AD rising all the way from down at negative 1400. It's already popping above 750. That plus 750 above there gave that nice pop to the end of the day. Three nice trades, three wonderful trades on the Russell today. We'll get right into the Russell on those three trades. Taking a look at the YM. YM had a nice afternoon session as well. Here we can see chopping for the most of the session. There were some nice trades at the beginning of the day. As we could see, the Dow Jones Industrials coming down here in the first 2 minutes, and then really chopping up the morning session. So no real trades here. You had your first maybe trade at 10. What was this? Around 9:20 West Coast time. Here we have a solid bar closing underneath the 8 moving averages. We'll go ahead and focus on some of these here, but it really wasn't until the afternoon session where we had a close, one bar close above, second bar close above. That would be my entry bar. Coming over here to the 534 EMA. So here we are at 1217, 1220. That's bar number 2. Over here I already have a EMA crossover. Heikin Ashi candle, solid body, tail up, keep you in the trade all the way up to the top of the 25-minute open range. You can take contracts off here. As we could see, if we look at the overall index running up here at the end of the day, starting around the 12 o'clock session, with the rise up here in the overall major index. Very nice profile here to keep you in the trade, and really sometimes all you need is that moving average of the 5, the 13 above the 21 and 80. You could see 5 above 13 above 21 and 80 to keep you in the trade here. So YM, wonderful trade at the end of the day. Sometimes discipline means not trading and waiting till the opportunity presents itself. You also had a Fibonacci retracement. If we pull from the low to the high here, we had approximately a 50% retracement, coming back and drawing a Fibonacci extension from the low to the high and coming back down. We hit at least 3 targets. So target number 1, target number 2 here at 16,765, and then boom, target number 3, 16,1780 for the final target. So again, Heikin Ashi candles, 5 over the 34, 5 above 1321.80. Wonderful management tool. Sometimes just waiting till the setup is there is trading. Nasdaq had the similar setup. There was a morning trade at the beginning, but you did not have a lineup on all charts. It wasn't really until the afternoon session once again where you had bar close above the 8-period moving average, closing in on the 25-minute open range, made it a little bit challenging. It wasn't until about the last hour that then price rose. You could see here towards the end of the session. Rules are the same. It doesn't matter what index you're following. So here we could see the 12 o'clock last hour. Here we have a nice rise in the NDX. pretty much chopped session here, but it wasn't until the 5 above the 13.21.80 to keep you in the trade. But you start here at chart number 1. Taking a look here, we're at the 25-minute open range. Top second bar close above the 8-period moving average. I take a look over here. I'm already above the EMA. You probably could have gotten this a little bit earlier underneath the range, but we were so close to the top of the range, I tend to want to hesitate until we at least clear that. So again, the NASDAQ having its final trade towards the end of the session. And as well, the ES had a nice pop at the beginning of the session, but it wasn't until the end of the day, which was really the best trade. You did have a drop coinciding with the YM that was earlier in the session, but here we have 5, 13, 21, 80, 5 above the 34. I have a bar close above the 8-period moving averages. That's 2 bar. Again, we're close to the opening range. I'd like to clear that. So here's 1 bar, 2 bar. So we're at 12.25. Tough call. End of the day, do you get into trade in the last 30 minutes? Some do, some don't. It's everybody's preference. But if you were to take the call here on the crossover, we're looking at the top of the hour. Again, with the NASDAQ, here's a bar close above 8-period moving average, second bar, and then staying in this and riding it up for some points here, and again coinciding here with the SPX. Here you can see in the last hour here a 534 EMA chart, and you can see the on a 5-tick chart here. Actually, I used a little bit smaller of a tick on the. I would actually bring this in a little bit. There we go. And so that 25-tick chart is more volume on this index, and here you go, staying in the trade by using the EMA charts. Again, chart number 1 up here in the upper left-hand corner to get you in. So you got the ES, the NQ, the YM all having wonderful sessions with Fibonacci targets. It was the Russell that offered us a great opportunity from the start. Here's a bar open at 6:30, second bar over the 8-period moving average. Here we already had a crossover over the EMA about a minute or two later. Gave you a nice rise up to the top of the 25-minute open range. We had a crossover over here on the RUT. 5 above 13 above 21. Moving a little bit later to keep you, but it wasn't the 25-minute open range. So really trade number 1 on the onset. As you could focus in here, you see the bar. See the 8-period moving average right here. Second bar. And then a little bit of sideways action, but it was the 5 over the 34 that would have kept you in the trade. Trade number 2 happened really the best trade of the day, which happened around the 7:14 West Coast time. Here we have a bar close 1, 2, and 534. You can see a 534 EMA crossover here at 7:14. Coinciding with 1 bar, 2 bar. I love these when these come together. If I have a, which happened today actually, if I have a bar, 1 bar close, 2 bar close, and I don't have a Heikin Ashi bar closing yet, and the longer the time frame moves forward and I don't have an EMA, the spread increases, not in my favor. So as you can see, the entry was here, would have kept you in long term, hitting the average move up at 1178.4, getting to the previous high. These aren't the bars that I use to stay in the trade. It's all right here, 5 above 34. All nice Heikin Ashis, stalling here at the 25-minute open range high, as well as 1 hour, and just continuing to ride this up all the way to the 6.9 high, which has been a line in the sand for most of the week, and pulling yourself all the way up here. Again, on the Russell, the pull at 7:14, wonderful crossover over here, which only took you all the way up. And again, we had a 5 over 13 over 21.80 on the index here on the moving averages, as you can see, wonderful coincide at 7:14. 5 stays above 13.21 and 80, and all you got to do with discipline is just ride this up. Take contracts off along the way. I would have put a half contracts off at the top of the range and just continue to ride that. You can take contracts off when the 5 comes under the 13. As you can see, price action ended up dipping down over here, which was another possible trade. And then the trade number 3, which was the final one, just like all our other indices today, as it all lined up. Here we have, at the end of the day, price action came down to the previous high. Here we have a 1 bar, 2 bar close over. I would have waited until at least it cleared the daily R1. But again, you could have taken an earlier entry just on the technicals at 12:09 here, West Coast time. 12:09, you have an EMA crossover right here, coincides. That's confirmation. So you got the setup here, confirmation here. Take a look at 12:09. Here we have a crossover on the Russell as well. And then to keep you in the trade even longer, 5 stays above 34. And then you can see here the 12:09. Let's pull that down just a slight hair so you can see what that lines up. There we go. So 5 above 13, above 21, above 80. 5 above 34. The signal is right here. And you had the Russell index also coinciding. So wonderful trades towards the end of the session. Russell, 3 out of 3 here. The trading plan for today, as posted every day at tradingfibs.com. With the Russell recap here and the index recap, buys to the upside on price action using the trading rules that are posted on the page right here on the right hand side. You just scroll down here, the setups I take, and a chart here, a handy chart again of, I just pulled this up, you can see the 4 charts that are indicated that we've been going through all day and how those are labeled. So good day all around for the end of the week. We finished just under the weekly opening price, so actually finishing down a little bit, which doesn't make too much of a gainer, but still holding above key Fibonacci levels. Who knows what happens next week? That's a wrap for today. That concludes this week. Feel free to stop by tradingfibs.com, any of my social media outlets, to obtain more information. My trading mantra of know one thing, know it well, rings true for all markets. I trade the Russell. I do pay attention to the other indices. I love telling you guys all about what's going on, as there's a common thread and trait to my setups. My charts apply to your charts. Keep it simple. Keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter, StockTwits. I have a YouTube channel. A variety of different ways to get in contact with me. Hey, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. You can find me on StockTwits as well. I only trade what's in front of me and on my charts. Have yourself a great weekend and a blue zone day. I'm out.